If you're looking for a modern, fully electric solo or duo bunker base with plenty of storage, I've got you covered. This base was originally designed by the YouTuber Reksmore, but I've added more armor, a rooftop, a fridge, 3 electric furnaces, and a multi-switch lighting system to bring this OP base to the modern age. You can just build his version fully at first, and then add my upgrades or at least be inspired by them. Here it is from the outside. As you can see, the original design is fully metal, but I've added a stone rooftop, which I'll probably upgrade to metal at some point too. We'll talk about that when we get up there. Going into the base, you can see that I've added his drop loot room setup, which can be covered with glass before logging off. As an addition, I've added a button here which toggles 5 lights that I've added to the base. There's also another button in the bunker that will toggle the system as well. You'll notice that I've added some armored doors in here. And then let's close this actually. I've used his idea for the jump up. So the jump up is right above the other jump up where you would go down into the bunker. Not sure if I love that spot because it is right above the bunker entrance, but it is very convenient to get down through the base. But we'll go up there after. Let's go down first. This loot room I actually really messed up. I put the foundation high instead of low, so I lost the extra furnace space that he had in his video. I put the roof at the same spot, so it all works out, but yeah, I lost some space, so don't make that mistake. Notice I also have a grill in here, and there's a bear rug, so I can get to 100% comfort when I'm cooking. And then I can, heal up really quickly right here. But yeah, don't worry about the furnaces because I make it up with my electric furnaces. So let's go down into the bunker. So this is the bunker right here. You'll notice, if I wanted to shut this bunker, I would build the half wall here like that. And then the floor triangle would go obviously right up there. And then I would upgrade that to sheet metal. Because everything else is sheet metal. I'm not going to upgrade that to stone. That's kind of obvious, right? So sheet metal. Just make sure that you always have a bag under here when you close your bunker, or else you're in trouble, okay? Now you'll notice here are the 3 furnaces that I've added, the electric furnaces, in the same place that he had his traditional furnaces, but yeah, they're electric. I waited to have them installed before I added this low wall here for defense, so just keep that in mind. First of all, there's actually the other button is right here, so again, toggles all the lights in the base. I love being able to turn my lights on and off both in the bunker and at the front door. Very nice quality of life. As you can see, I've got a fridge and a large battery down here. Honestly, you can put these elsewhere, like in the extra floor that I built, or in one of the storage areas, but I like having everything in here and being able to modify my electrical easily. Also, I had a large battery on me, so I used it, but you could use a medium battery fine with this setup, and it would save some space. There are 2 solar panels at the top of the base, and I connect each one to this root combiner right here. And I like to have it down here to easily modify things later on, but you can put the root combiner at the top if you want to, but I like to have it down here so I could easily add another root combiner for more power. So the root combiner connects over here and goes down into the large battery. The large battery goes to a switch. This is a kill switch for the entire base. I just like this because I can easily modify things from this switch. It gives me a point where I don't ever have to reconnect the battery. I also have a main electrical branch that I use for my base. This is the master branch. So for this branch, I set its output. You can see it's set to 24 right now. I set its output to whatever my system needs at max power so that I know how much I need and can also branch out of this using the power out if I need to make a big change or if I just want to test something before adding it to my system. You can see that I have 76 power going out too, so it kind of gives me an idea of how much extra power I have. So for example, if I were to add a second fridge to my base, I'd come in here and I would add 5 more power and set this to 29 because that's how much the fridge would need. I then connect this branch to my other branches in my electrical system. So this first branch, you can see it's set to 5. This is the refrigerator. So power comes into here from the other branch, and then it simply powers out over and down to the refrigerator. right here. You can add it. I have the refrigerator at this angle so that you can adjust the power without having to remove it. That's why it's not facing me. Okay, and that's it for the refrigeration. Then you're going to use the power out from this first branch, and you're going to connect it to a second branch. This is what we're going to use to control our furnaces. For this one, since we have 3 of them, we want to set the branch out to 9. And then you're going to have the branch out go to a switch. And this switch, as you'll see, adjusts our furnaces. It turns them on and off. Okay. From this switch, you see you have the power in from this branch. And the power out goes to this splitter, which works perfectly for this setup because it splits the power into 3, so it splits it back out into 3, 3, and 3. And you just connect each one of these power outs to each one of the furnaces. And that's it. Then you test and make sure that your switch turns on and off the furnaces. So you always want to be able to turn them off to save some power maybe later on when your electrical system is a little bit more taxed. Okay, so then now you're going to add another branch out. This one is for the lighting system, so you're just going to connect the power out from the furnace branch to the power in for this other branch. And because I have 5 lights, this branch is using 10 power. Each light needs 2 power, so you can add as many lights as you'd like. Just make sure to adjust your master branch accordingly. So if you want to put less lights, you can bring that down. If you're going to add more, just make sure you add 2 more per light that you add. So once you have that branch set up, you're going to have it branch out to a memory cell. And it just goes to the power in of the memory cell. And next to the memory cell, you're going to put an OR switch. And from the OR switch, you want the power out of the OR switch to go to the toggle option on this memory cell. This is how we're going to connect our buttons, and our buttons aren't going to use any additional power. We just need the power from here that is for exactly how many lights we need. So now you're going to go place your 2 buttons wherever you want in your base. Doesn't really matter, but I like to have one in the bunker and one at the front door so I can kind of turn lights on and off wherever. And then you're just going to connect the power out from the first button to the input A or B, it doesn't really matter, and then on the OR switch, and then your other button you're going to connect to the other one to input B. Now you're going to go ahead and you're going to place your lights wherever you want. So I can see 1, 2, and then there's 3 more up there. So place them wherever you want, then come back over here to your memory cell, and you're going to go to the output of the memory cell, and you're just going to connect it to your first light. It's going to go to the power in of your first light. Then you're going to connect the pass-through to the power in of your second light. And you can even do it through the rug, like I could do it right, it would be power in right there. I could connect it there. And then you're going to pass through to your next light and so forth until all of your lights are connected. Then you can test your buttons and make sure that they both toggle the lighting system. And that is it for the electrical. You can see we still have a lot of extra power right now. The battery is still charging up. So we could just add another branch right here, making sure to adjust our master. Could be for some turrets, for some more furnaces. We're going to talk about potentially farming in a few minutes. So you could add one for your sprinkler system and a light for your indoor farms. So yeah, that is what I've got for the electrical right now. Let's go ahead and let's just take a look at the rooftop. So like I said, I put the jump up where he suggested, which is right here in the original video by Reksmore. So we'll go up there. And then I have another garage door. And actually, I'm on a live server right now. I'm going to close this. And so this is where he said to put the jump up. Now, first of all, my biggest priority was making sure that the TC was covered. And so the TC in this base is these 2 squares, and then I believe this triangle right here. So this is the bunker, right? The TC is in this triangle, and then here's my bunker, and then this is how we get out of the bunker down there. So for me on this 3rd floor, it was a deal breaker to not have these 3 pieces covered. And then I kind of decided to do whatever I wanted. I don't cover the entire honeycomb, so you could have built this out further. I'm not the best at creating peaks and shooting windows, so it's very basic, just some horizontal embrasures over some windows. And you can see on this side I also have just a box here, so I can quickly defend with a bag. I just have another peak so I can see this side of the base as well. I can almost see 360 degrees, but I'm super exposed at these peaks, obviously. there are, you Rust veterans, and you guys are like, oh my God, this is a field day, right? But it is what it is. So maybe you could give me some suggestions in the comments. I do have a plan to put a farm plot right here with a light and a sprinkler. You could collect water on the roof, because you can see that, shut this, I have a roof jump up as well, just allowing you to modify things on the roof. So you can see we've got the solar panels there. But you could add some water collections. You could add beehives for honeycomb. You could add farm plots up here, or you could just build up even further. I like to add these low walls because it really hides the solar panels well. It makes the base look a little less OP. I have this metal. I'm wondering if that is where. Is that the one where the TC is? No, it's not. I don't think so. But anyways, guys, so this is my version of Reksmore's OP solo duo bunker base, upgraded with some extra armor, fully sheet metal. This, you could probably go to sheet metal as well. I've added all that electricity with the 3 furnaces and the fridge and the lighting system. I'm sure you guys can improve this even more, but I do hope that you found the video helpful. If you did, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and subscribe for more Rust content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.